I asked Gemini 2.5 Pro, Google's shiny AI model, to analyze my YouTube channel to help me grow my audience. And you are not going to believe what happened next. Let's just say it was equal parts fascinating and actually kind of absurd. So stick around because I'm going to walk you through what I did, what went wrong, and what I learned that can help you better use AI to help you in your business. I'm Laura Zavelson, and this is the Gen Expert Show. It's the podcast for consultants and agency owners who want to use AI so they can make every weekend a long weekend and do it without sacrificing clients, creativity, or credibility. So back to my Gemini story. Here's how it started. I was trying to get better insights into my YouTube channel. So what's working, what's not, what I should be doing to grow. And I figured, hey, Gemini's owned by Google. YouTube is owned by Google. Maybe this is a secret weapon, right? Maybe it has access to better data or more training than some of the other models. So I gave it a context prompt with its role and some other stuff, the standard stuff. And in terms of my goal, I gave it my channel link and I said, give me a subscriber growth strategy based on my content. Now, I wasn't sure if it could actually do it, but it seemed like a fair ask, right? And what came back? It was basically a glorified blog post. Post consistently, use compelling thumbnails, study your top rated content. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, AI. So, look, I pushed. I said, what would you need to give me more specific advice? And that's when it said, go into your YouTube analytics, download the specific reports, and compile them into a spreadsheet and upload it here. And I'm thinking, okay, now we're getting somewhere. So I look at what it's asking for, and it's pretty massive ask, right? Uh, Create an overall channel performance reports for the last 90 days, views, watch time, subscribers, impressions, click-through rates. And for each one, it's telling me, why this is important. I'm like, all right, settle down, but I'm going to go ahead and get you the reports. So I do exactly that. I pull the data and I drop it into a clean spreadsheet. And by the time I'm done, I've got 13 tabs, okay, each with a different report on it. I upload the whole thing to Gemini, and boom, it gives me a 4-phase action plan. Very exciting. Well, this looks great on the surface until I start reading the details. So, right at the top, one of the key recommendations it says, well, the top video on your site is called The 5 AI Tools That Will Revolutionize Your Marketing. This is your star player. It has the highest views, a great click through rate, and solid watch time. There was only one problem. I don't have a video with that title. So I call it out. I'm like, yo, Gemini, I don't have a video with that title. And Gemini says, quote, you are absolutely right to call me out on the details. I apologize for the error. I misinterpreted a line in the data and created a phantom video title. Thank you for the correction. This is exactly why working with real data is so important. Let's recalibrate with the correct information from the files you provided. All right, fine. So I wait for it to do its thing. And I assume that this time, I'm like, please read the file before you give me the report. And so it comes back with, I'm looking again at your file, and your top performing video by both views and watch time is actually AI powered lead generation for consultants. The only problem is that is also not a real video. I haven't made that video yet. That's when I realized something, and I popped out and did an old fashioned Google search. And guess what I found out? Gemini can't read spreadsheets. But it didn't tell me that. It just hallucinated what it thought should be in there. No error message. No, I can't do that. Just confident nonsense. So I tried something different. I actually copied and pasted the data. I just copied it right out of Excel and pasted it into the chat window as a table. And guess what? That worked. So it analyzed the data properly. It actually gave me some thoughtful insights. But then, and I thought this was funny, after everything single set, like I paste in another piece of data, another one of these tables, and it would say, great, that's the final piece of information we need to build your strategy. I'm thinking, chill, Gemini, you're the one that asked me for 13 things in the first place. So just give me some time to paste them all in. So the takeaway here actually has nothing to do with Gemini as a model. What it has to do with is really getting a good understanding of what AI's capabilities actually are, and what it can and can't do at any given moment. And I'm pretty immersed in AI. I built custom tools. I'm building new custom tools all the time, and I didn't realize that it couldn't read spreadsheets. So we all have to up our own games to be able to use AI effectively. I'm using it every day with the goal of making it a strategy and productivity partner because I want to work 20 hours a week and still make what I'm making right now. So if you want to join me, because I think that's a pretty fun goal, I've got a link where you can read more about the community that I'm building and find out how you can hop in as a founding member. Okay. So, look, back to learning from my analytics activity. Don't hand the keys to AI until you pretty much have some idea of what's in the file so you can actually call it out if it's hallucinating, right? The second thing, I know you've heard it, but this is like real evidence. GPTs will say they can do things that they cannot do. And worse, they're going to make stuff up to cover it up. It's like, dealing with an 8-year-old. So you have to put on your critical thinking hat when you're checking on the results, right? Also, important to remember, not all models are created equal. So I ran the same analysis through ChatGPT 4.0, Gemini, and Claude. Some followed instructions better, some hallucinated less. They all had some good ideas that I'm going to implement. So while the multi model process takes longer, you might want to try it and then use your human brain to mix and match the results. Okay, the other point I had, context matters. And that's kind of the big idea behind all those long winded prompts that people share on LinkedIn, right? When I said, here's a spreadsheet, I got fiction, right? So when I said I'm going to paste 13 data sets and I want you to analyze the whole, the quality of my results definitely improved. So honestly, this whole situation reminded me of something I've been talking with my clients a lot lately. And that is the concern that AI tools just lead down rabbit holes and they're a big waste of time. So I think part of the reason that playing around with AI can feel like that is that we're not really educating ourselves on how to use them effectively. Most people, and I'm guilty of this too, right, are cutting and pasting prompts and using AI for kind of one off tasks when what's required to generate real value and real time savings, actually get an ROI on this thing, is a more strategic approach and taking the time to educate ourselves beyond the scroll. And look, I know it might feel like a pain in the ass to have to learn something new at this point in your career, but we are at an inflection point here because even if you're not using AI in your business right now, your competitors probably are. And frankly, this technology is moving so fast, it's really hard to keep up. So that's why I'm creating this community for people like us, for independent experts who want to collaborate together to learn this stuff, to share best practices and to leverage AI to the point where we can get our stuff done in half the time and still keep our clients really happy. So you can find out more about how to apply to be a founding member in the description or in the show notes. So that's going to wrap us up for today. If you are a subscriber to the Gen Expert Show, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. And if you're new to our show, this is where we're trying to build a community where we build AI powered businesses with human powered brands. So if today's episode gave you some ideas about how to work smarter and how to do your business faster, please do like and subscribe. And hey, you could even share it with a friend who wants their Fridays back too.